As you can see, we have an absolutely capacity audience here for what I think is going to be a fascinating and possibly unique glimpse into a genre, really, which has been, of course, such a favourite of the great Irish novelists and short story writers, that sense of the Anglo-Irish Big House. And, of course, this whole part around Kilkenny city and county, and this area has such fascinating examples of those big houses. And so I wanted to invite to share their lived experience of a childhood in one of these great Kilkenny big houses, two extraordinary friends and two sisters who are huge champions and supporters of the festival, but who for their lives, and in a way, I suppose most of today is about the childhood, but just to say by way of introduction, that Jane and Caroline, once they left this part of the world, spent many years in the Far East, in the process becoming some of the world's leading experts on the art and culture of Mongolia and of China, and have written many books and extraordinary works, actually, on China and Mongolia. But in a way, we're lucky here in Kilkenny that they do spend part of the year back here. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, to share their lives of Kilkenny Big House Childhood, Jane and Caroline Blunden.
And this is Castle Blunden, and at some point, in a manner of speaking, people throw their toys out of the pram. But in our case, our father threw his daughters out the top floor window, the very top, the second in, and we abseiled down the front. This was his fire drill, and we were aged 10 at the time, and he secured a belt around, very safely around underneath our arms, made sure it was safe, and then we went, and he said, don't look down, lean out and walk your way down the front of the building and try not to break as many, too many panes of glass on the way because it's fixed to the top central window. Anyway, having done that, Jane and I both felt we could do anything. Now, here we are. This is the R factor. Here we are dressed in our smocked silk dresses with embroidered collars, age 3. We appear like little cherubs, but far from it. We had to have separate playpens in the nursery or we would have killed each other. And in fact, years later, we learnt from the twin study at St. Thomas's that being identical twins, you're either equally passive or equally argumentative, and we are the latter. Now, this is, in a way, to introduce the family. My father was in the Navy and away for 10 years, leaving my very capable mother to manage the house and a growing family. She had more than enough to do, and we were very aware of her in the background, and she made us feel much loved. And then when my father came home on leave, we all got together, and Miss McMahon went on our holidays.